Hello and welcome back. We're going to discuss the final exam for the spring 2023 semester here at UDC's Principles of Accounting 1 course. The final exam, as of right now, the final exam is due May 2nd. That's next week, y'all. That's a week from today, in fact. Today is the 25th of May. Next Tuesday is May 2nd. So you have until Tuesday night to complete the final exam. The final exam is worth 20 points, 20 points. That's kind of a lot. Yeah, it's 20% of your total grade. Ooh, I know, I'm sorry. It's a heavy one. I'm aware of that. So here's the good news. The good news is that it's open book and open note. Okay, yes, that's a good thing. It's open and available to you now. So if you want to jump into the final exam and start working on it tonight, you can do that. Okay, just remember to hit save and close instead of submit. We only hit the submit button when you're ready to submit the final exam. Because once you hit submit, you can't get it back. There's only one attempt on the final exam, just like there was for the midterm. Don't worry, it's not timed. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. You know I'm not like that. I don't like anxiety. Timers give me anxiety. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Believe me, I wouldn't do that to you because I wouldn't want that done to me. Okay, let's take a look at some of these questions, shall we? There's 20 questions total. Each question is worth 1 point. Remember, it's 20% of the grade, so we want to do the best we can. I recommend that you start as soon as you can, but take your time. Okay, do not rush. Do not rush. Let's look at the first question. A company had net sales of $580,000. Total sales was $730,000. And average accounts receivable was $81,000. Its account receivable turnover equals. Okay, this is a definition question. We're looking for the definition to accounts receivable turnover. Now, if I remember correctly, the midterm exam covered chapters 1 through 8. Does that sound right? Was it 1 through 8? Let me just double check. I think it was 1 through 8. It was 1 through 8. So that means that the final exam covers chapters 9 through 16. The final exam covers chapters 9 through 16. Now here's the thing. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that's 8 chapters. 8 chapters, 9 through 16, 20 questions on the exam. That leads me to believe that there's probably about 3 questions per chapter, roughly. Okay. Chapter 9, if I remember correctly, this was a while ago, so trying to go off of my memory, I know. See if I can open that file up. Chapter 9, whenever it decides to open, was on accounts receivables. Look at that. Now, accounts receivable, what did that first question say? It asked us, if I'm not mistaken, for the account receivable turnover. Well, isn't that interesting? So question 1 comes from chapter 9. So I can come into my chapter 9 PowerPoint or my notes or whatever you use to help you out throughout the course. Your book, of course, is open. Yeah, I'll use your book. Accounts receivable turnover. Well, my guess is we talked about that somewhere down here, probably toward the end, because that's where we normally do our ratios. Accounts receivable turnover. Oh, look at that. It's the second to last slide. Accounts receivable turnover definition is net sales divided by average account receivable. Here's why this is important. If you look at the question, you have too much information. You have net sales and total sales. You have accounts receivable turnover, or accounts receivable average. That's too much information because the definition again says net sales divided by average accounts receivable. So this is a very easy question. I take my net sales amount, $580,000. I divide that by average accounts receivable, $81,000. So 580 divided by 81. And then just select your response, okay? Question 1 comes from chapter 9. Question 2. Current person is a partner. I can already tell where this is going. Event promoters. The beginning partnership accounting chapter. Capital balance for the year is $55,000. His ending partnership capital balance for the year is $62,000. His share of this year's partnership income was $6,250. What's the return on equity? Partner return on equity. So I can tell you that question 2 comes from your partnership accounting chapter, which I'm gonna suspect is probably chapter 10. But let's take a look just to be sure. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Come on, open up. No, it's not chapter 10. For sure it was. Is it 11? Partnership accounting, where are you at? I'm trying to remember so far back. That's not it either. Where is it? Or is it 12? There it is. That's 12. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember which one it was. Question 2 has to do with partnership accounting. Read each question carefully is what I'm getting at. Okay. If you read the question, it basically tells you what chapter it came from. You just have to remember the chapters. Okay. And if you don't remember them, it's okay. Open them up in the book, in your PowerPoint presentation, and your notes. You'll find it. So this question 2 says, what is partner return on equity? Again, a definition question. If you know what the partner return on equity equation is, you can easily answer this question. So if I go to chapter 12, I'm looking for partner return on equity. I'm sure it's probably toward the back. Partner return on equity. Look at that. Amazing. Here's the definition. Partner net income divided by average partner equity. Okay, so if I go back to the question, partner, wait. Beginning partnership balance of the year was 55. Ending balance was 62. Share of the partnership income was $6,250. So, share of the partnership income, $6,250. Average partner equity. Remember that word average. How do I find average partner equity? It's the beginning balance plus the ending balance divided by 2. So the average partner equity, I take the beginning balance, 55,000, plus the ending balance, 62,000. Divide that by 2. And then you'll be able to answer this question. Sound good? We all understand this, right? Question 2 comes from chapter 12. Question 3. A machine originally had an estimated useful life, I can tell where this is going, 6 years. After 4 years, it was decided that the original estimate of the useful life should have been 10. At that point, the remaining cost to be depreciated should be allocated over the remaining number of years, right? This one is worded a little tricky, but I know we could get there. Now let me think about this. Okay, chapter 10. Chapter 10, plant assets. We talked about depreciation briefly. Recall. Yes, we did. We sure did. And in our discussion, we talked about straight line depreciation, units of production, all of that stuff, remember? We also talked about this concept called changes in estimates in chapter 10. So if you look at changes in estimates for chapter 10, we can figure out the answer to question 3. So question 3, that's chapter 10. Should hopefully help you out with question 3. Question 4. Use of preferred stock to increase return to common shareholders is an example of. This is a definition question. Okay, the definition of one of these 5. How do we know which one it is? Well, I got to go to the chapter when we talked about preferred and common stock. Well, which chapter was that? I'm sorry. What happened here? Computer's having a meltdown, apparently. I believe that was chapter 11. Does that sound right? I think it was 11. My computer's having a moment. So, question 4, look at your chapter when we talked about preferred and common stock. This is a definition question. Question 4. Question 5. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to select that. I don't know why I did that. Question 5. This is a definition. A partnership agreement. That's partnership accounting. That's chapter 12. Partnership agreement. Partnership agreement. That's chapter 12. It's the definition of partnership agreement. Or what is the characteristics of partnership agreement? Yeah, interesting question. Partnership agreement comes from the partnership accounting chapter. Question 6. cash flow on total assets ratio is computed by dividing average total assets by operating income. I think we just talked about this. Okay, this is also a definition question. Question 6 comes from chapters 15, or this statement of cash flows chapter, whichever one we just did. Question 7. Stockholders' equity consists of which of the following? You have to know stockholders' equity. Okay. Question 8. Bonds. We had a whole chapter on bonds. Okay. So the bond chapter, I think that was that last week or the week before? It was bonds. Yep. Question 8, the bond chapter. Question 9. Which of the following statements regarding other comprehensive income is false? Other comprehensive income. Remember my example with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, the chapter just before statement of cash flows? That's where you'll find question 9. Other comprehensive income. Question 10. If a company has advanced ticket sales totaling $2 million for upcoming football season, journal entry to record would be a debit and a credit to what? Remember the example of the concert tickets? This was maybe 3 or 4 weeks, about 3 weeks ago. An example in the book was about concert ticket sales. It's going to help you to answer question 10. I think that was on adjusting entries. Question 10. That sounds right. Question 11. Bonds. Tells you exactly what chapter this is going to be. Bonds. Bonds issued and the names and addresses of their bondholders is called. Question 11. It's a definition. Yep. Question 12. The issue price of bonds is found by computing the future value of the bond's cash payments, discounted at the contract rate of interest. You'll find the answer to this question in the bonds chapter again. Question 13. Which of the following is an example of an extraordinary repair? The definition of an extraordinary repair is a large expense, repair expense, that extends the useful life. Extraordinary repair extends the useful life of the asset. Oil changes don't do that. Carpet cleaning, that's not it. Routine maintenance, definitely not it. Remember, extends the useful life of the asset. Changing light bulbs is definitely not it. Putting a new roof on, it's probably going to extend the useful life. Extraordinary repair extends the useful life of the asset. Question 13. Question 14. Unrealized gain or loss. The portfolio available for sale securities. Just talked about that in the last chapter. So, question 15. The allowance method that assumes a percent of the company's credit sales for uncollectibles. Remember, that's your account receivable discussion. Accumulation of dividends and arrears on cumulative preferred stock guarantees will be paid. It's on our stock discussion. Yeah. 17, appropriate sections in the statement of cash flows. We just talked about this one. For recording the cash payment of wages. Pay my employees because I operate with them. Yeah, wages. That's an operating expense. 17. Question 18. Which of the following statements related to recording a warranty expense? I think we talked about that about a week or two ago. Statement of cash flows is, we just talked about that. Lastly, a company has an investment in 9% bonds par value. The amount of interest accrued would be. In the conversation on bonds, remember if it's a long-term bond, how long the bond is tells us how much interest we pay. Yep. So, any questions on the final exam? It's a little review we just did. Are we feeling better about it? Feeling confident? Remember, take your time. It's open book, open note, open PowerPoints. Rewatch some of the videos if you want to. Okay, I recommend that you start today. Just take your time with it. Answer a question or two if you feel real confident. Double check your work. Save and close. Come back to it. Save and close. Come back to it. Only click submit when you're ready to submit it. The exam can only be taken one time. Okay. Thank you all so very much for a wonderful, wonderful semester together. I hope that you've enjoyed the past 16 weeks hanging out with me. I know I enjoyed my time with you. Sincerely appreciate all of you. I hope to see you in another class with me soon. Principles of Accounting 2.
We appreciate you too, Dr. B.
Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you, A. Tony. I appreciate you saying that. And thank you, Yamani. I appreciate you saying that as well. Yes. Please register for Principles of Accounting 2 if you're not done so already. I'm teaching it in the summer, in the second half, if you want to do it face-to-face with me on Monday nights. Otherwise, I'll be teaching it in the second half of the fall semester online. I think it's around the same time that we meet now. Yeah. But except it's a little bit longer. Yeah, because it's 8 weeks instead of 16. But the good news is Principles of Accounting 2 is a very straightforward. It's a shorter course, less chapters, a little bit more detailed, but I promise you it's not as challenging as Principles of Accounting 1 is. So, in the meanwhile, if you ever need anything, you can always email me, call me, set up office hours. If you ever need anything after this course is long ended, you can still reach out to me. I'm still going to be here for you. Okay? Think of me as your long-term professor. I'm going to be here for you even when you're done with school. I'll still be there for you, okay? So if you want to talk about jobs or whatever, I'm here for you. Okay. Thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you. Best of luck on the exam. I know you'll do fine. And if you need anything, I'm here. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Okay. When is it due again, Dr. B?
The final exam is due on May 2nd.
Oh, the second. All right, the second. All right.
But make sure that all of your other work, including any past due work or chapters, the last 2 chapters, that all has to be done by Saturday night. Because that's the last day of the semester.
All right, so, all right, that's a bet.
Yeah, that's a university policy. So university policy says that any coursework needs to be done by the last day of the semester, and that's this Saturday. Yamani, make sure you get anything that's due. Make sure that's done by this Saturday.
All right, I got you.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Have a good
All
one.
right.
Thank
Would this
you.
be uploaded on YouTube like the other stuff or what?
Absolutely. Always.
Okay, great. In this portion here that we just
Even the final exam portion.
Okay, fantastic.
Great.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Jermaine. Appreciate you. Okay. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Appreciate all of you. Bye-bye.